Welcome to our video template tutorial. When you first open the template, you can see the technical proposals scoring section. There is a spot for each bidder's name, and we have accommodated for up to 10 bidders and 6 evaluators. Right below the bidder name is the criteria legend and the associated weightings for each of the criteria. As you move right into the document, these two columns stay locked to the left-hand side of your screen, so it's easy to see if you're entering your data into the correct location. There is a spot for each evaluator's name, and each evaluator is a different color, which is consistent throughout the entire template, also for ease of knowing that you're putting data into the correct location. The only place you will ever have to type is in the cells outlined by the thick bordered box. You don't need to worry about typing in the wrong spot and accidentally deleting a calculation cell, because if you try, Excel will stop you and tell you that you shouldn't type there. When entering the scores of each evaluators, you just type in a score between 0 and 5 and you hit enter. If you accidentally type a score outside of that range, for example, you try and type in a 6, Excel will tell you that that is not within the acceptable range and that you cannot type it in. After typing in all the scores, the weighted scores are calculated for you, the total scores are calculated for you, and the total weighted scores are calculated for you. After all individual evaluator data has been entered, you can scroll to the right and see the group averages section. This section is calculated for you and you do not have to enter any data. This section tells you the average score across the 6 evaluators in each of the criteria, as well as the average weighted score, the average total score, and the total average weighted score. These numbers in the group's averages section will be helpful in the group scoring decision process. Then if you scroll a little bit further to the right, in the green box is the place for the group decision scores. Again, the only place you have to type is in the cells with the thick bordered box. Then the weighted scores, the total score, and the total weighted score will be calculated for you. The golden box is the total weighted score, and it is the score that will be used to see if bidders meet or surpass the threshold. After this, we scroll a little further to the right, and you see the cost proposals section. At the top is where you enter in the threshold in number of points. All of these golden boxes will be transferred over into the final technical weighted score column for you. So for example, bidder number 1's golden box would appear right there. If a bidder's final technical weighted score meets the threshold cell for that bidder will change to a yes, and that means that we need to open their cost envelope. After opening the envelope, you simply type their cost into the cost column, and the template calculates the minimum cost of all the bidders and creates the ranges and assigns scores based on the range from the bidder with the lowest cost. Then the template will use this score to calculate the final cost weighted score, and it will add it to the final technical weighted score, and this final score will appear in this column over here. The winner will be declared in this section over here with a message saying winning bid. Now we're going to show you an example with numbers for a project already inputted. There are 4 companies bidding, and 6 evaluators are evaluating the 4 different companies. As you can see, the data has already been entered except for evaluator 6 in bidder number 1. So we just enter her data in, and you can see that the weighted scores are calculated for you as well as the total scores. And as you type in, you can see that the group averages scores change along with you. Now that we have all her information inputted, we go over here and we can type in the final group scores. If you notice over in the cost proposal section, the golden box, as it changes, the final technical weighted for bidder number 1 was changing as well because it's the same number. You can see by comparing the total average weighted score and the total group decision weighted score that they're very similar. So the evaluators did a good decision process about the group consensus on the scores because they're similar. So if we scroll over to the cost proposals section. For our example, we're going to use a threshold level of 320 points. You can see that bidders number 2 and bidders number 3 meet the threshold, which means that we want to open their cost envelopes. So we open their cost envelopes and enter in the costs. Based on the lowest cost, which is bidders number 3's cost proposal bid, it calculates the different ranges for the other bidders to be scored off of. You can see that bidder number 2 scored a 3 out of 5, and bidder number 3, being the lowest score, got a 5 out of 5. The weighted scores are then calculated and added to the final technical weighted scores. Their total scores appear over here, and the bidder with the maximum number of points, which is bidder number 3, is the winning bidder, which is the GDS Incorporated company, and so they are the winner of our project. That is how you use our template.